Good morning, rail friends. Coffee Sunday, Trackside here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And that was our first CSX train of the morning going eastbound into Chattanooga. Thought we'd do something different this morning. Went by the Wauhatchie Yard on the west end of the yard this morning, and there wasn't a whole lot going on. It was pretty quiet, and with the sun, it made it really a tough shot. So I decided, let's do something different. What could we do? Where could we go? And have a little bit of everything all at the same time. So we are on Old Wauhatchie Pike on the west side of Chattanooga in the shadows of famous Lookout Mountain. And I know everybody knows where Lookout Mountain is, because if you've ever traveled on Interstate 24 or Interstate 75, you have seen the Rock City birdhouses, you have seen Visit Lookout Mountain, so you know where we are. We're just on the other side. To my right, you would be headed to a number of different destinations from here. There's actually, and we'll do a spin around here a little bit as soon as I finish getting set up. Just got here from the yard, and we had a CSX eastbound, but we have two sets of crossings here, simultaneous arms that activate for both sets, and the CSX and Norfolk Southern share this line, or simultaneously both use this line, and then the far side is an NS track. And also right over there to the right, and we'll be able to get a quick scan of it from up here, but that is the CSX Wauhatchie Yard. So give me a few moments, let me finish getting set up, just putting up the canopy since we're headed towards 90 degrees really fast this morning. Got to keep the equipment cooled down a little bit. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to spin you around for a trackside look. And then once we're ready, we'll talk about the area a little bit. We do have signal indications on the top tracks where we are, which there's two. And I do have the scanner on, so I'm going to attach it over here so you can hear it. You're going to hear a lot of the chatter going on in the yard itself, where they're building trains, tearing them down, etc. So give me a moment. Let's get situated, get set up, and then we'll come back and talk a little more. And thanks for being with Casey and I here on Rail Moments. And there in the background is Lookout Mountain. And right on the other side of those trees is the CSX Wauhatchie Yard. Good morning, Dairy NS. Sorry, still getting set up. Be back with y'all in a little bit. But we are live here at Old Wauhatchie Pike. That's the crossing coming from the road that goes past the CSX Wauhatchie Terminal. And you're currently looking at the westbound upper set of tracks for CSX, and then also NS runs on those tracks. And we've got action. I believe he's going to be on the lower track. Let me move y'all to the crossing here for a moment, just to kind of explain what's what. That far track, and we're here at the crossing. Many of you probably recognize this spot. Casey and I filmed some of our first videos here at Wauhatchie Pike, Old Wauhatchie Pike, where it crosses over, just because there's so much train activity here. Basically, every train that runs east-west through Chattanooga passes through this point, these three tracks, or far across through the CSX yard. The CSX trains will go on the backside and go either east or west from there, but we're kind of what you would call a pinch point because of Lookout Mountain. So everything going into Chattanooga goes down these three lines or through Wauhatchie Pike, and then goes around in through DeBucks, and then disperses to all the different directions from there. That far line is the AGS, or referred to as the AGS line. That line runs down to Birmingham. So once it leaves Chattanooga, they will pass through here, go down through Trenton, and proceed down to Birmingham from this location on the lower track. There's also a siding right there that you can't see currently, but Casey and I checked that track. That track is, the siding track is 100 years old. So that siding's been there a long time. We will have a lot of truck traffic here today, even though it's Sunday. There's a number of warehouses down here, so everybody's kind of constantly and coming and going from there. The gentleman that we met, him and his son, when we first started filming here, we're using his driveway, and he told us we're welcome to be here anytime and to come back. There goes the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department. We are here in Tennessee, Hamilton County, Tennessee, on the west side of Chattanooga. Basically, for the Wauhatchie Yard is kind of the end of the W&A, and if you go from right to left out of the yard, you'd be going to Chattanooga, and then past our rail cam, and down through Ringgold, Dalton, and all the points below and onto Atlanta. Basically, this section up is known as the Chattanooga subline, and it goes on up to, you'll go on up to Nashville from here for the CSX, and for NS, if those of you that are kind of familiar with the geographical, from here, this line will travel out to Whiteside and then go over to Bridgeport, Alabama. At Bridgeport, there are 3 junction points, and CSX will continue there, NS will continue there, and then there's a spur that turns and goes north once you cross the Tennessee River at Bridgeport. After Bridgeport, you go to Stevenson, and once you hit Stevenson, the CSX line spurs off to the right by the historic depot and hotel. You recently saw footage of that really, really cool historic spot with the hotel and the depot is between the 2 lines. Basically, the trains would stop, eat there, get on off to the hotel, what have you, and that's at Stevenson. So at Stevenson, CSX bears off to the right, goes up to see all my friends in Cowan, and then from Cowan on up to Nashville. And the NS line will pass on the left side going west, is still at this point, there in Stevenson, where it will go on over to Huntsville and then on over to Decatur. So as you can see, kind of a great big choke point. Everything comes together in the middle, and then when it gets to either side, east or west, everything spreads back out again. And so Mississippi and beyond, Atlantic coast and beyond. And that's why we picked this morning to have this spot, Coffee Side, here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So let me put you back under the shade, keep the equipment cooled down. We are going towards 95. I need to get my second cup of coffee ready. So let's get you situated out of the sun, and let's see what we have next for action. We do have there you can see the eastbound signal post here at Old Wauhatchie Pike. And we've got a total of 5 regs looking at us. And then the lower track bring you down, give you a little better sight. There's the crossing. Here's our two tracks. And where that truck is about to come across is the AGS line. That's a pretty cool Power Wagon 4x4 Dodge going across. Love his accent striping. But we do have, if we have gate activation here, we have gates that activate down there and activate up on this side as well. So no man's land in the middle. There goes Walden Security. Let me zoom in just a little bit here, and over there you can just kind of see it between the trees on the other side of that crossing. That is the Wauhatchie CSX Yard, and you'll hear them on the scanner all morning long. You'll hear the trains banging as they're putting them together. You'll hear the locomotives thinking we're going to have one here at the crossing. So you'll hear the scanner all morning there. Here comes the Sheriff's Department back again. Give him a morning wave. And we got one back. Also, you'll see the transportation vehicles come and go, taking the crews from this point. We do have a little bit of a breeze this morning. And here is the 3-track crossing that we're beside of in the gentleman's driveway right next to the track. Like I said, he was super nice the morning we met him. They do recycling, and we told him who we were, and we were just getting started with Rail Moments back then, and said, come on back any day, anytime, hang out here, you're more than welcome. So back a little bit, the lay of the land, where the W&A basically ends. Chattanooga subdivision begins. AGS goes past here. So we're in a great spot. There is a defect detector just to the west of us, so we get a little advanced noting on the top 2 tracks that there is something coming. And Gary NS, who's with us this morning, he's kind of our bird dog on the locomotives. The train that we had go by, NS locomotive 4256, was an AC 44 CSM, and the other locomotive with him was NS 1054, an SD 70 Ace. So Derry, thanks for keeping everybody up to date. As we had talked recently, since NS is a publicly traded company, you can view the entire roster of locomotives. But our first two, NS 4256 and NS 1054, those were on the eastbound train headed into Bucks and Chattanooga. An AC 44 CSM, and an SD 70 Ace. So let's get back here in the shade. Stay tuned for more action. Thanks for being with us this morning. And let me get a cup of coffee set up here, and then we can chat a little more. Take a walk over here. Get you back under the umbrella. Oops, we just ran into the umbrella. Still getting used to this whole umbrella thing. All right. We're under the umbrella. We have a nice breeze. Sorry for the little earthquake there. I had to readjust the level. And how beautiful of a morning is this? Let's get that pipe out of the way. You are looking at beautiful Lookout Mountain. Sun is coming up from the east. We have a nice breeze as we were talking. So, let's sit back, relax. We have red on the post for our signal indications going east. Hello, Brian. How are you this morning? And Brian, good morning to you back from everybody. Thanks for being with us here. We're at Old Wauhatchie Pike, live on the NS and CSX lines. Hopefully we'll get a good morning of activity. I went by the railroad yard earlier, the west end of Bucks. It was kind of quiet, so decided what better place could we find that's picturesque, has lots of opportunity and different things going on. So we'll have everything from hearing the CSX yard on the scanner here to watching the PTI transport vehicles coming and going, the different brands or different companies that haul the railroad crews to and from their different points. Truck traffic, signal activity. Matter of fact, that last eastbound is still sitting behind us at the very far bend. So, get your coffee, bake you, cook you an egg, whatever you like for breakfast. We're going to hang out for a while. We are live here in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Old Wauhatchie crossing. Brian, where might you be? For us, it's 9:47 Eastern Standard Time here in Chattanooga. I started out with a pair of sunglasses, and now I gotta figure out where I put them. But Brian, where are you on from? That train that passed us is still sitting to the east of us. Like I said, when I went by the Wauhatchie Yard this morning, it was kind of quiet, but hopefully that'll pick up since we are on a great route here and a busy route. All right. Good news. I found the sunglasses. I have my best thermos on the planet, Stanley. This thing works wonders. Be it cold, unsweet tea, since I'm from Ohio, or hot Starbucks coffee. This morning we are maple pecan. Number 3 this morning. If you guys don't have yours yet, we still have regs to the east. So take a moment, grab you a cup. We'll sit back, get relaxed, get comfortable, and just have fun. Here in a moment, let's talk about who caught what this week.
those. We'll see how, if you want to keep them coming, and I'll just send that crew side down. Yeah, keep them coming here, and then wherever you land, send somebody to you. I don't. Ready?
There goes a crew transport car. Head over to Wauhatchie. Remember, due to the fact that they can go through the backside of the Wauhatchie CSX yard over there, some of the CSX trains can avoid us here. We do have a distant horn. Both of the last two trains that went eastbound are still sitting down from the quarter of a mile to half a mile to the east of us from the crossing. As you saw in the first video, he was slowing down considerably as that CSX train went past us. For those of you who have been keeping up this week, starting, I guess we all kind of started Thursday night, didn't we, Derry NS? Trying to catch or watching the 1836, the RF&P Heritage for CSX. But I didn't realize in the beginning of the conversation he was a petroleum train, so once they come up on the W&A and they get to Cartersville, they then turn and go up the K&A up to Knoxville through Etowah. And I see he finally got through there. It took him a couple days. And then our friends over in Cowan, they sent us the Père Marquette 1899 CSX Heritage locomotive. And the Seaboard System 1982 CSX Heritage locomotive. Friday night / Saturday morning, they saw one around 10 their time central, and then right around midnight. If you haven't visited the Cowan Railroad Museum, CAM, fantastic spot. Visit all our friends up there, and you can see all night long at that junction point. Also, a cool thing about Cowan is the fact that they have two pushers based there in the yard, and just south of Cowan is a great big old mountain with a tunnel at the top. So as the southbound trains approach Cowan, they stop at the yard. The two pushers are connected to the end, and then they push the train, assist the train up the mountain through the tunnel, and then on the other end or on the other side, they disconnect. If there is a northbound train waiting, then they hook over there. If not, they return back to the yard. So you'll see the same two locomotives coming and going, and they have two defect detectors. Their channel, you can hear the radio as well, so you know kind of everything that's going and coming. And then vice versa, if there's a northbound, they'll hook up, push him up the mountain through the tunnel, and then past the Cowan Railroad Museum. So they sent both of them over to us. I know many of you hung out with us on Saturday night, Friday night. And then on Saturday morning, I didn't get the Seaborg system. I tried to stay up all night, but it just didn't happen. But I did do, and as you all got to see, or if you haven't, hit the thumbnail under the lives for the Trackside with the Père Marquette. We did catch him. I got to the track at 5. In most cases, a southbound coming from Collin, unless it has to work the Wauhatchie Yard, coming from Collin to our rail cam in Ringgold is 5 hours. So I was there at, we've got Gates. He does have a red signal board indicator. There's another crew car sitting on the other side of the track. The gray van right there. Chrysler crew car picking somebody up. Halcon, Halcon, transport vehicle 2479, either going or coming from the Wauhatchie Yard. And we have NS holding short of the crossing with us. Good morning, Tony. How's everything up in Cowan? All right, looks like we have a pair of NS locomotives sitting here in front of us currently, just pulled up. We're here on the Chattanooga subdivision to points of Huntsville, Decatur, Nashville, depending on which railroad line. And that lead locomotive, 9785, and he's got a yellow indicator. And as you can see, he's passing that first eastbound train that we had earlier, still holding on the left track. Just as he went past the signal board, we zoomed in real quick so we could get that yellow before he went red. Sorry for the what I call earthquakes, a couple of the different bumps as I move you or reposition you so you can see different things, but since we're on a driveway and not exactly level,
Norfolk Southern, milepost 248.1, no defect. Norfolk Southern, milepost 248.1, no defects.
so at this point, we still have the two earlier eastbounds holding. One is down on the lower track, which is the AGS line. That track looks like we lost you all there temporarily. Let's go ahead and go back trackside. Go ahead and give you a view of the crossing to the left, both tracks. Kind of watch the traffic coming and going across, just see who comes and goes this morning. Sorry for the gas pipeline thing in the middle of the picture, but where we are for shade, visibility, and where we're invited to be here on the driveway, we're a little limited on some of the options, but it's all good because we are live, trackside. Thanks for all the likes this morning. If y'all haven't got your coffee filled, take a moment to. And Dairy NS is keeping us up in the great form and fashion that he does on that lead NS locomotive. The lead locomotive was NS 9785, and that locomotive is a C40-9W. And his trail locomotive was NS 8036. NS 8036. Those are the two locomotives that just had that train that passed us. And he was an ES 44AC. So, Dairy NS, thanks for the locomotive rundown. We appreciate it. All of our fans do. There's so many different types. I don't know how you keep up with them all. I struggle with black, orange, and blue. But anyhow, we are live here at Old Wauhatchie Pike. Thanks for everybody being with us. Again, thanks for all the likes this morning. At this moment, we are all red going eastbound. Even the scanner got quiet for a moment. If you haven't checked out our site lately, Casey's been busy in the production studio. He has a massive multi-screen production facility, and last night we talked about the fact that while most of you guys hang out with me at the track under the umbrella today, he hangs out in the studio putting all this together for us. And if you haven't seen him yet, check out his Saturday morning release that we had on the brick. For those of you, the brick is the geometric or the geometry unit for NS that does track inspections, and it checks. Got a FedEx truck going by. Checks for track defects, and if they come across, they mark those sections of rail, turn in a work order so they can be corrected. So they do everything from strength of the steel to structure issues that you can't see with the eye, from what I understand, but the geometry unit known as the brick. Really, really interesting. We got lucky he got held there in Cittico for us. So we got a slow roll by of him this past week. And like I said, that went up Saturday morning. And then Casey put together for us an exciting combination of CSX heritage locomotives that we've caught recently. Some at night, some in the day. One I had to almost cross the ditch. Oh, there are deer on the track. Let's see if I can move you. Excuse you for the earth trach, but we've got deer on the track. I hope he gets off before the train comes. But right there, he's looking at us. The deer are crossing the track. Actually looked like they stopped for breakfast for a moment. You'll see that frequently in our rail cam, which is at the Audubon facility, Audubon Acres, which is a bird sanctuary and huge wildlife area. Wild turkeys, deer, you name it. We've seen everything on that camera, even humans walking up and down the track. They're wandering across. The littler one doesn't seem to be in any big hurry.
I don't believe so.
He must be looking for the east and west bounds too.
I'll be in I will have to go on the 7 track actually, grab this car up and
Hello, Casey. I see you're up. You're just in time for our cup number 4 of coffee this morning. Thanks for being with us, everybody. And there goes deer number 3 slowly across the track. Well, I thought he was going to go across. He made it off the tracks at least. I'm going to tune you back into the crossing here. Beautiful Lookout Mountain in the background. And as we were talking just before we came across the deer, if you haven't visited the website this week, take a moment. Casey has done some really, really cool things. And as we were talking, he released the 5-pack combination of CSX heritage locomotives this week. You got night filming, daytime filming, kind of a peek across a river filming. That Family Lines was shot in Etowah, Tennessee that night, and we saw him from the road and ran down there as fast as my little body could get me there. And just when I thought I had it made and I was going to get a picture, I came across a creek, or depending where you're from, a stream, a river, whatever you want to call it. There goes Old Dominion, helping the world keep promises. But I was coming down that hill at full speed. And just when I thought I had it made, I had the sound muff in one hand, camera in the other, I come across the creek. So that little snippet through the trees was as good as it could get at that moment. But Jesse was hanging out with me, so between the two of us, we were determined, and we only waited till 3 a.m. for that other shot that you will see in that release that Casey did. But we got the Family Lines that night southbound in Ocoee, Tennessee. A dear friend, April, gave me this railside cup. Keeps my maple pecan just right. When Casey's with me, we have hazelnut. When Casey's not with me, we have maple pecan, both Starbucks brand. So let's move back to the shade. Again, excuse the tremors or earthquakes that you see as I move you, but have to keep you level, have to keep you out of the sun so we can enjoy the morning here as long as possible. Swing you around real quick for a look at my stool, earmuffs, the new tent, well not tent, but the new umbrella. There's some of the night lights that we use. Have the fan, thermos, trusty broadcast production vehicle number 6, the OF-150. All the working pieces and equipment and scanner and everything there. As I said, the gentleman that owns the company here, this recycling plant, we met, Casey and I met him back in the very beginning. Some of the early videos you'll see from this exact spot. Invited us to come back anytime, so we decided this morning was a good time to take him up on that invitation. We appreciate you. I know he watches the channel because his son just loves to come to work. His son's young, but loves to come to work and watch the trains go past Dad's place, he told us. So we're gonna move you back under the umbrella, keep monitoring the traffic. For that last train, we gave him 2 big waves and he gave us 3 big salutes. How cool was that this morning? Our first eastbound is still sitting down there. So let's move back over here. And again, my apology for the tremors, but it's just part of the thing of what happens when we go live. For fun, we're gonna go wide, give you Lookout Mountain in the background, level us up here a little bit. And there's the crossing. Each time we go out, as I learn this whole live thing, and Casey coaches me on it all, every time I go out, I make a list of essential things that I need. Didn't take me long to learn the part about the stool, but the next piece is an essential piece of equipment, the fly swatter. Between tiger mosquitoes, and for some reason orange and sweat bees just love to visit, and those pesky flies, we're equipped. So, sit back, enjoy the scanner. We are underneath the umbrella. The sun's starting to kind of get close to overhead. It is now 10:30 Eastern Standard Time in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Gonna adjust the stool. Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
Shoot, if I got any better, I'd be like you.
I'm out riding, and I'm from Marietta.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I got a surprise for you guys. Hang on. If you go right there.
Hello.
Everybody, you never know who or what you're going to find at a crossing.
I'm in new territory. I'm from Marietta, Georgia, a little further down on the W&A. And I know a rail fan when I see one, so I stopped by to say hello. My name's Lance. My channel is Lance's Lens.
Alright, and
Here's a close-up.
how many cars y'all gonna be coming out with on?
So check it out.
Lance's, LANCE''S, Lens, LENS.
Yes, and apparently you got to put that apostrophe in there. YouTube just.
And if you don't do the apostrophe, you're not going to find Lance. Tell us about what some of the things you do, where you been, what brings you up our way.
I work in the film business when I'm working as a grip. So, and I'm a photographer. So I shoot trains with 2 cameras and a drone, and edit it together. Mostly on the WNA, some Atlanta North District, NS. And when I go back to visit my dad in North Carolina, I get some stuff up there on the South End line and W&W and wherever I can, really. I'm set up in my truck to go at any time if I see a high green or approach or whatever. Even if the bells are going off, I'll pull in and set up and get what I can, yeah.
Lance's rapid deployment vehicle.
Sort of like that. Battery chargers.
He's
power
just like
inverter.
the rest of us. He's all equipped where he is, when he is.
That's right.
The paying job makes the non-paying one possible.
That's
and
right.
all the fun.
Yes, sir.
Did you catch any of the? Did you catch the Marquette this week when it came down your way? Did you get any of those this week?
Not this past time, but about a month ago, yes. And I got that one, and they all run together, especially
That they
these
do.
days. But yeah, lately it's been some near misses. I just get there just in time. I like to, we all like to get ahead of them a little
That's
bit.
it.
But I like to move around. I like to catch one and then move somewhere else. And I was actually headed to Dalton to get some new area for today.
Are you familiar with the Dalton area?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I while I was driving, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and come on up to Chattanooga. I haven't been up here in 2 years.
Oh,
So,
you have been hiding out.
yeah, I really haven't caught any trains up here. Last time I was here, I did an aquarium video. Because I actually worked on the aquarium what was that, 92, 93?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah. I'm giving away a little bit. My age, I did some scaffolding work in there back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah, man. So thanks for having me. Nice to meet y'all. Please check out my page, Lance's Lens.
don't
Nice to
forget,
meet
once
you.
you visit Lance, subscribe, keep up with him, send him
Please.
messages.
And I'll
Tell him to come visit us more often up here in Chattanooga. We can hang out, film together, and have all kinds of fun together.
I'll definitely do that. And I always return the favor of any subscriptions. Absolutely.
And Casey, my partner, he's back at the studio this morning. Casey is also a drone operator. We caught the Chesapeake in Ohio. We just released that this week on the WNA, and he's up in the air with that. But Casey's like you. He does just incredible work and makes everything that our viewers see possible. And he's dragging me into the 21st century.
That's awesome.
It is.
There's a very, very good chance I'm already subscribed to you guys.
Okay.
My phone's in the truck, or I'd check it right now. But I got your card, and it's nice to meet you.
Lance, there's my cell.
Okay.
Stay in touch. It's easy.
Right. Okay. Yeah, man.
You just use that one.
Absolutely, Mike.
And it's good to meet you.
My
I'm glad
pleasure.
you opened the window and yelled. We
Yeah.
always love to share because it's about fun, sharing experiences, and catching the elusive whatever's next.
Yep. You never know what's coming, where it's going. Well, sometimes you do. You meet new people.
Mhm.
You get out and see new places. So, thanks. Everybody have a great day.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Drive
brother.
safe.
Yep. Thank you. See you again soon.
I hope so. And I said stay in touch, and because I come down your way, I was just in Eckler a couple weeks ago, my 3 weeks. But stay in touch, and I know stuff coming.
Yeah, I'm trying to. And I've got I kept my old phone for I think $10, so I use it as a camera monitor.
Okay.
So when I'm like right now, I'm monitoring Dalton, which I didn't see the head in, but a couple of northbounds.
You're familiar with the old break program too.
Yeah, but I like to go up into the Y, split, because I can fly my drones and see both signals.
You had one problem that you switch screech back from the wheels as they're making that turn.
Oh, sometimes I like the noise.
Yeah, sometimes I noticed it. Especially
See, I don't.
The younger generation doesn't like the screech. They're hearing it so much more safer than the older folks, and we've noticed that if we have that type of activity, we will lose people. That they'll stay long enough for a locomotive, and then when they get all that screech, they're turn. At least with the depot, the other thing with the depot, at the freight depot, not the past one, but where the visitor center is, we also have power. So if you need solar power, and we can the old Pullman power there, right here, that's and the CSX single board there at the diamond. So you get the activity of the lights.
Oh, I do want to shoot closer to the diamond. I haven't done that.
Okay, when you go to the old freight depot, which is the visitor center, and sitting there is the crescent. It's the Pullman car.
Yes,
And
I'm
then-
familiar with that.
Okay, right next to that is a crossing. There's a great big sidewalk area, so you're totally legal to shoot. And as you're standing there looking on the north, the 4 lights are the NS lights, and then over slightly to the right, one track over is CSX. And the next indication of the light is lower there, so you get a slower roll. But it's super spots.
Yeah, I'll grab that spot. When I head back south, I'm gonna go through there. I'm gonna spend a good hour or so around Chattanooga. Like I like to say, every shoot is a scout, and every scout is a shoot.
Have you been to Coffee's Cliff?
What is it?
Coffee's Cliff.
Oh no, I
Okay.
just learned about that.
It's COFF.
I got my notepad.
Get your notepad. Hang on. Let me swing this around here for everybody. Everybody, we're going to roll you back over here onto the crossing. Lance and I are going to trade some notes. So you got a little activity coming and going.
There's a railroad museum here. I gotta go see.
Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. The coolest railroad. It's the largest operating railroad museum in the southeast. They do daily excursions down to the Missionary Ridge, and they also do excursions down to Somerville. State excursion July 27th. But they also have a live rail cam that's free.
Oh.
On the NS tracks right in front of them. And that is all the traffic.
Is that on YouTube or?
They have their own, and then Virtual Rail Fan has one too. The Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum camera, it is free. But TVRM, when they have a dinner train, they are currently rated one of the best trains. Coffee's Cliffs, back to Coffee's Cliff, if you put in your GPS, it's COFFEY_S Cliff. Now, don't expect much, and you literally are going to go through hole, tree line, and then boom, there's a sign and a cliff. And just be conscientious where you are.
Am I on top of the cliff or?
You're on top of it.
Okay.
It's about 20 feet straight down. It's rough, so if you fuck up, you're going over the edge.
See, I've seen a shot from the other way.
Right. The closest track to you, which is, here to that rock, is CSX. And you're going to be eyeball to eyeball with the CSX. That's the closest one. The next one over is the NS pass-through. Those 2 tracks closest to you pass through the bunch. Over on the far side is the other NS track that goes on up across to Cincinnati. East up to Knoxville. Coffee's Cliff. Also, if you get to the best place, you go to the UTC soccer field. Incredible place. UTC soccer field. It's right by Engels Stadium. ENGLE_S Stadium. You're at the far west end of the buds, and they break the trains down there.
Okay.
And you can see if something's coming in from the east going west, that's where they stop and break down. And everything goes across in front of you. So it's a great spot. You're totally legal. And there's an entrance to NS right there. It says no filming past this point. There's a yellow steel rail. You're in the parking lot for UTC. And Ingalls is down by the McDonald's. You go about 4 blocks down, and then down by the soccer
depot, there's the railroad platform in Ringo, right next to CSX.
Yeah, I've driven through there a while back. Once I learned the general monument up there.
Right, the general's right
So,
just up the
a
street.
couple quick questions that just popped in my head. This is the end. This is the Chattanooga and WA
Yeah.
that we're looking at.
Basically, the W&A ends here in Wauhatchie.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the Chattanooga sub starts and goes this way. NS and CSX both operate. These are CSX tracks operated by CSX, but both lines run over.
Oh, okay.
The other track, the one right down there, is the AGS.
AGS.
The AGS
Local?
is NS, and it goes down to
Oh,
Fort Payne and then Birmingham.
okay.
So that's your Birmingham traffic on the far side. At this point, they go to, from here, they'll go out past Nickajack over on 24. Then they go to Bridgeport. At Bridgeport, there's a separation. One track curls back, and the other two continue to Stevenson.
Okay.
At
I've heard of it.
Stevenson, there's an old hotel and an old depot there. One side of the track, literally, not any further than this stool, to me, is the track that goes to Powell, which is the CSX that splits on. It goes to Powell. The track on the so you're getting all the traffic that's coming westbound into here.
One of these days, I'm gonna make that trip from here down to Birmingham. So, before I forget, on the other side of town, the big lift bridge. How often?
Constant. But the bridge never opens. Matter of fact, it's broke.
I mean, it has to go down and let a train across, right?
It stays down. It's broke. It
Oh.
won't lift right up. You're talking about there at the dam.
On the far side, the old rusty
Yeah.
NS bridge.
Yeah, that bridge, there's a lot of traffic here next to CNO and TP.
Okay.
And that's,
I looked at it on Google Maps.
Yeah.
I've been over there.
that's your route up to Cincinnati, and that's very popular. And it comes down into Citico Junction right there. We have a video that we did the entire debug yard. The video about the Southern covers the entire yard and its history and layout. But that you can go to, you go to the Chickamauga Dam Park. It's called the Chickamauga Dam River Park. It's off of 150. And you go down, and it's federal property. You can film what have you there. It's federal property. It's patrolled. It's safe. And you can, depending on the time of the day, go on this side or that side. And it's called 10 Bridge, T-E-N-M Bridge. It's called 10 Bridge. And right as they go across 10 Bridge, they're in Hickson and going north. If they're coming south across the river, they either make a left, and they're going to go east out towards Ottawa, or they're going to go straight into the end of the bus.
Is there some advantageous point where I can? There's got to be a signal for the bridge, right? Is there a place I can see it?
Wherever you are on this side of the river, you can see the signal bridge indications. They're on both
On the
sides
city
of the track.
side.
On the north side.
Okay.
You can't see the south side because it's on the back side, but you can see the signal indications going north for
Okay.
both tracks. And depending on where you are. And in the morning you got to shoot on the east side, and in the afternoon you got to shoot on the west side of the bridge because the sun is screwed.
Cool, man. I think
Any questions?
I think I'm gonna ride over there
Yeah.
before the end of the day.
Any questions you have, just text me.
Okay.
And if you have any questions and I got time, we can chat. Anything I can do.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the airtime.
There's a really cool place, and there's a really cool place called White Sun on this line, just about a half mile, half an hour, probably about 20 minutes. There's an old Civil War tunnel, and it's right where the tracks go right past it.
That's not the Nebo. That's way up north.
Oh, yeah, actually, this is something. It's right where the Marion and Hamilton County line is. It's one of those things nobody knows about, but you can. It's like I said, it's no farther than from here to that signal, and you're up a little bit, so you're almost eye to eye with.
We're similar, man. Check out my setup real quick. I'm also a model railroader, so I got a little prototype I'm building of like milepost 5 to Atlantic Coast.
I got it.
So I just grew up got off this exit to fill up at that QT.
Yeah, I'll watch you for you to back out. Hang on. All right, Lance, go ahead. Come on back. Have a good day.
You as well. Nice meeting you. I'll see you soon.
You too. Can't wait to talk. Hello, Jonathan. Thanks for being with us. I'm sorry, I just met a rail fan, Lance, from down in the Atlanta area. I saw you had some questions. We are, yes, we are at a 3-track crossing. Let me spin y'all over here for a moment. Give me a little better view here while we talk. Looks like we're still regs on this set. All right, from where we are, oh, Dominion's coming, hang on. For those of you who know, I'm still getting over my sinus infection. I'm way better than I was a week or so ago. But where we are is on the west side of Chattanooga, west of the Wauhatchie Yard, and over behind me is the CSX Wauhatchie Yard. So basically, we are at the end of the W&A behind me at the yard. The 2 tracks behind me are both are on CSX and NS. 2, and they go from here, they go westward. Basically known as the Chattanooga sub, which is Chattanooga up to Nashville. So you'll see NS and CSX both coming and going on the top 2 lines here with us. As they go west, they will branch off at Bridgeport. That's the first turnoff. Then they continue on down west to Stevenson. At Stevenson, they split again. The CSX track bears to the right. Anytime I hear scanner traffic I think might affect us, I stop so we don't miss something. At Stevenson, the CSX track spins off to the right and goes on up to Cowan and then on up to Nashville. The NS track at that point bears off to the left. Right there, there's a depot and hotel combination back from the 1800s. And it goes on to Huntsville and then across over to Decatur. So that's where the ending points, the 3 main westbound, northbound directions for these tracks. And then the far track that you saw, the far track down, is the AGS. And the AGS takes you down to Fort Payne from here, going south, and that's an NS track, and that track then takes you on down to Birmingham. So pretty much anything, and in the background behind me is Lookout Mountain. So basically we're kind of at a pinch point. Everything going east and west from Chattanooga goes past here, with the exception of the CSX trains that are going into the CSX yard, the Wauhatchie Yard, over behind me. And they do leave and come into that point and not past here. So it is the choke point. Everything goes past here. These 3 tracks are over on just on the other side of those trees. And before we end today, we'll make our last piece of the day, a drive across the tracks, and we'll just pull into the driveway of the Wauhatchie Yard so you can see it. So that's kind of the lay of the land for those of you that just joined. The yard must be a little full because I checked a little bit ago. We still have 2 trains holding on the tracks to the east of us. One's down on a siding. One's down on the AGS on the side, and we still have the one that went past us first thing this morning. And he is off and running down there on the old Wauhatchie Pike Road. Still sitting up on one of the tracks here. So that's where we are. Any questions, feel free. Hey everybody, while we're waiting for the next set of train actions, we are listening to the scanner at the same time. You will hear the Wauhatchie Yard going on. There is a defect detector to the west of us, so if we do have eastbound, inbound traffic, you'll hear about them ahead of time on the top 2 tracks. So, fill up. If you haven't had breakfast yet, get the French toast going. Don't get far away so you can hear. But that's where we are, what we're doing, live every Sunday morning, hopefully. Although last Sunday I was just too sick to make it. With Coffee Trackside, we try to do about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We do the queue up so you can know that we are going to go live on Sunday mornings. And once we have our first train, we hit the go button. Don't forget, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Trackside Tuesday, Trackside Thursday, usually in Dalton at the Diamond at the old freight depot. So all the north-southbound traffic, a lot of traffic goes through there. And then generally, CSX does switching in the evenings around 8 o'clock. So we get to watch, if I remember right, it's locomotive 4536. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Derry NS. I think it's 4536 works the CSX switching there. We got to see them both Tuesday and Thursday night. If you watch those thumbnails, click on those, Trackside Tuesday and Thursday. Robert's remarked, those are some of the rustiest railroad cars he saw sitting there that he's seen in a while. And he's right, they were rusty, but generally every day other than the weekend, we get a different set of siding cars down there. So you never know what art we're going to get or how much rust we're going to get. So that's the update. Thanks for being with us here this morning on Rail Moments. Take a look at the channel while you're waiting for action in between. We're going to stay for a while yet. Like I said, going to the track is like going to the store and getting a box of Cracker Jacks. Once you get there and you open it, you never know what you're going to get or how far down the package the surprise is. So we're under the umbrella, we're on the stool, we got coffee, we're good. And like I said, you just never know who we might meet. And this morning we had the excitement of meeting Lance. So check out his channel while you're with us this morning too. It's always fun to share with others. Somebody always knows a hidden spot to go that I wouldn't get to take you to, and vice versa. So thanks for being with us. Sit back, enjoy, relax, send us comments, and if I know the answer, I'll give it to you. If not, I'll try and find out. Thank you. And also, Jonathan, I did not answer your one of your questions. It is not a quiet zone. We do have gates. You do have horns here. So even though the reason you see kind of that silent zone or quiet zone setup, because you've got the tracks on the upper part here, track on the lower part. When this side goes down, so does it. And then you got kind of no man's land, for the sake of conversation, in between. So that's kind of the lay of the land for the crossings, but it is not a quiet zone. If you guys are okay with the gas line pipe sticking up there, you can. We have the activity of the crossing while we're here, or if you'd like, we can face eastbound. If anybody has a particular opinion. Over behind the trees, I can see them working and hear the locomotives working in the Wauhatchie rail yard. If any of you are trying to figure out how do you spell a Wauhatchie, I'm going to tell you after this truck goes by. Actually, two trucks. FedEx one way, looks like Averett the other way. No wave back from him. So, for those of you who have been wondering, Wauhatchie, Wauhatchie, Wauhatchie. Here comes a CSX high railer from the yard. And there goes Hailcom, I believe it is, a railroad crew transportation van across the track. Other than the fact that I knew that Wauhatchie had something to do with Indian, it is scanner going off there.
Here we go. Go. I'm waiting on you. Come on through here. I see you, boss man. I want to help him out right here.
The name Wauhatchie is from the Cherokee language, and Wauhatchie, the Cherokee word that can be defined as the great wolf or beautiful mountain and valley. And as you can see, they weren't kidding, because there runs Lookout Mountain. Sorry, we got the umbrella in the way and the crossing gate, but we are on the west side. They kind of call it the Lookout Valley side. But exactly what Wauhatchie stands for is exactly what we're seeing today. An incredibly beautiful mountain and valley. And up there at the top is the Lookout Mountain community. And if any of you have been on 75 or Interstate 24, you know it's the home of the birdhouse. See Rock City and visit Ruby Falls. And the steepest railroad in the world, the Incline Railway. So I know you've all been here because you all have gone past 24 or 75 at one point. The one place on the planet where they tell you you can see 7 states. And one of the exciting places to visit is the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. So we got it all here, train fans. Sit back, relax. I need some more coffee. And I think I'll take a quick stroll down to the AGS line over there on the other side. See what our signal boards are there and see if we're going to have some more action possibly. Derry NS, you're right. Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum is totally awesome. Largest operating railroad museum in the Southeast, as we had said earlier. If you come, if you can get tickets, because it's constantly sold out, dinner in the evening on the tracks with the Railroad Museum, one of the top rated dinner trains in the country. The service, the accommodations, fantastic. And when I tell you fantastic at Mike's level, I didn't get this size by not eating good. So check out Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. And also, I see Jesse's up. About time you get up and at it. Whistleboard Productions. Our friend Jesse, many times you've seen him in the videos with Casey and I. Jesse's the one that made me stay up till 3 a.m. a few months ago in the rain to catch the Illinois terminal and the Wabash together at 3 a.m. And that is a really cool production that Casey did from the studios. Not only do we have him that night, but we were lucky enough to catch him coming back through town, still connected. We got drone action across 10 Bridge on the way up to Cincinnati. We got through Dalton. I mean, we got them one ways of every way, both sides. So check out the Wabash and Illinois Terminal production on our channel. Check out Whistleboard if you haven't already. Say hi to our friend Jesse. And we're going to try and keep you in tune with all the cool and fun things to do. For those of you who are in the city and you don't get out to see the trains and enjoy the air and you just don't get to have that feeling, we hope that we can give it to you this morning. Trackside with coffee on Sunday. Just relax. If you got a question, send a note. As you saw, a rail fan went by and it was Lance. So if you're out in the area, swing by, stop and say hi to everybody. Like I said, this is meant to have fun. Casey and I have fun with it. We enjoy it. Casey's done a couple cool things just recently with the Heritage app. It's just amazing and it's so much fun. So like I said, if you're out and about, stop by. If you got a channel, swing by, whatever, but have fun. Time for me to get more coffee, so let's go back trackside. And I said, I'm going to do a pour and then I'm going to walk across, see if we've got any signal activity on the AGS line. So stay tuned, stay put. Hey Jonathan, as you just read, Whistleboard Productions, he's working hard this morning on videos. I'm not going to tell his story, but if you guys can get it to share with him, he had an amazing week this week in his world of train chasing. 2 great big events happened to him. But I'm not going to tell. If he wants to tell you, he will. But They all know him up in his hometown. But check out his channel, you guys. Great, great friend of ours. Also, anybody jumping on board with us this morning, hey, tell us what you've caught this week. Be it the Gray Ghost, be it a Heritage, be it a special interest. Have any of you seen Move the Weight of the World locomotive yet? What have you all seen this week that we haven't? Share with us.
Get a little bit closer, you kind of break it.
That locomotive you hear in
Wauhatchie Yard.
the distance is a locomotive just on the other side of those trees moving cars.
Grab some ice real quick, and I guess go north and start this rat killing. Yeah, folks, the 192 pretty coming out at 25. And we got 585 coming down the 4 track right now. Okay, alright. We'll stop that 92 job and ain't gonna go nowhere till 85. Rats out there that you need to kill. Track here, grab some ice, and then go back north up the lead whenever you can take it. Come out of the cab track. Actually, yeah, I come out of the cab track, grab some ice for the motors, and then we'd like to go north and start this rack killing. I understand we got 585 coming in towards the 4 track, so I guess we ain't going too different far. That's fine, just as like, yeah, come for that 585. I understand permission to come on out of cab track, up the lead, stay clear of the 4 track, and wait 585. Or if you need us. Be all ready for it.
I got all excited as I went to go across. I found a penny, heads up. And then as I picked it up, I was thinking about buying lottery tickets. I found a penny beside it, tails down. So I guess that negates the luck. And next to those pennies, scattered all up and down here on the crossing on the tracks, is corn. So, pennies and corn. That's my morning find so far, in addition to the trains and hanging out with you guys.
track's clear. I'm right. Come on back here too. Stop. Clear to stop.
Here comes Old Dominion. Again, everybody, thanks for being with us here on Trackside Sunday for Coffee. A little quiet at the moment.
Wauhatchie Motel shuttle.
Any questions, ideas, things you want to share?
Just come at the comfort over here by the McDonald's and the Hardee's.
Getting a pickup over by the McDonald's and the Hardee's at the motel. That'd be the transportation vans that we hear communicating with the yard. Over straight across, let's see if I can get this in for you. Right there is a CSX locomotive. I don't know if you can see it. He's kind of lost in the trees, but right over there in that little hole is all the activity that we're hearing on the scanner in the CSX Wauhatchie Yard.
Clear, Jason, track, sir. Come on back here, 10. 5325. Clear, 10 on 5365.
Clear to come back 10. That'd be 10 train car lengths.
Everything on the planet Earth is in a clear.
A view of Lookout Mountain. Bring you back out. And we're back here at the crossing. Again, thank you to our host for letting us use his driveway, which comes out right here at the crossing where we are. Super nice guy, has a young son, loves trains, but don't we all, young and old. I did walk down and we are all regs going eastbound, currently down on the AGS track. That's the track that goes to Bucks and Chattanooga, or down to Birmingham through Fort Payne. If you haven't been to Fort Payne, they have a beautiful railroad depot that's made out of local stone material. Not only is it large, but it is incredibly unique. So if you get down by Fort Payne, it's right in the heart of downtown, home of the Oak Ridge boys. But go check out that depot. It is just incredibly beautiful. And I forget the name of the stone that they use, but it's local there and just something you got to see. Oh, if you can see him over there, it's probably not his double beeps, double horn, and those CSX locomotives over there are moving. There goes the CSX high railer over to the Wauhatchie Yard. A lot of people, when they drive past, look at the truck. Oh, here comes, let's swing over here. Another Halcon, Halcon, H-A-L-L-C-O-N, railroad team transportation van coming out of CSX Wauhatchie. Going across the track, everybody always kind of stares at the production unit, and we have the ambers on here at the crossing, and everybody wonders what's going on or what's coming. And we have our Rail Moment sign up on the front windshield today, so everybody knows, kind of check out the channel. And we're watching the CSX locomotives working over in the yard there. Like I said, I promised before we leave today, we will give you a tour across the track to the Wauhatchie Yard and back before we end. We'd like to hang out and get at least one more locomotive this morning. And a fun train going past. So that our wait will be worth the wait, but if not, the fun of meeting people and the camaraderie and just hanging out with the beautiful mountain in the background. It's just a nice morning that we can all be here and share it together. As you guys saw on the notes here, Jesse's had quite a week of running up and down the rail, catching everything. I have to, while Casey's on with us and you guys are chatting with him back at the studio, we met last night and we're kicking around a couple of thises and that's and what have you. And one of the things we talked about was Casey needs to share with you from the production studio, him doing production, kind of what he does at his end. So if y'all like that idea, because I think it's fantastic, you wouldn't believe what all he does and the countless, endless hours to put all my stuff together. And as you've heard him talk before, read my notes, which is just pages and pages of, and read my notes means handwritten, like the old days. He has to read my cursive writing, but I think it's a phenomenal idea that he does a production with y'all while he's there. So tell me what you think. He makes all of this possible in so many ways. It's a great combination, fun times together that we get to share. The lady in the white car wouldn't cross. She thought something was wrong, so we had to give her the giddy up and go sign, thumbs up, forward. She thought she couldn't go, so she was sitting there waiting. For those of you just signing on, we are in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Wauhatchie crossing by the CSX Wauhatchie Yard here on the NS and CSX lines, where they both run parallel together, and NS and CSX both run on the two tracks right here in front of you. Those two tracks go, if you're checking out the geography or kind of where, after they leave here, they go up over, they go over to Nickajack Lake. Many of you have seen that sign on Interstate 24. Over to New Hope, then Bridgeport. At Bridgeport, one line, a spur, bends off and goes north to a small town just north there. But the other two main lines, there's Sequatchie Valley Railroad is over there at Bridgeport. And that line goes up to South Pittsburgh. It's a local line, runs up to South Pittsburgh. The track kind of goes right beside town there. And then, like I said, the other two tracks carry on west from Bridgeport to a really historic small town called Stevenson, as we talked a little earlier in the video. But it's Stevenson, and it's really cool. It's back from the 1800s. There is a hotel depot combination, and they're both, the track splits. One track goes to the left, one track goes to the right. Each one's about 10 feet away. So that meant back in the 1800s, when you were finished your dinner there at the hotel and you went to bed and that train went by, if you didn't shake, rattle, and roll, I don't know. But it's really cool setup. And then as they split there, the CSX track then goes over to Cowan, to all our friends there, and then on up to Nashville. The NS track then goes down to Huntsville from there, and on over to Decatur, across the river, and then goes in the different directions. So pretty interesting where all it goes and what all comes here that we get to see at this one spot. Thank you everybody for all the thumbs up this morning. Like I said, as we talked many times, going to the crossings like buying Cracker Jacks. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how deep the prize is. You don't know what the prize is. I've been here with a train on every track. I've been here with nothing, and I've been here with everything in between. I'm guessing the yard, the DeBuck's yard's probably still backed up a little bit because our early eastbound is still sitting on the track closest to us, to the east of us. Like I said, we will do a tour of the area real quick before we leave. I'll load you up on the car and put you on the dash, on the holder, and we'll do a quick drive-through, drive-by, just so you can kind of get a little better feeling for where we are and what it's like, and not only how beautiful it is, but how unique it is and how exciting this crossing can be. So there goes a redbird. Stay tuned, relax. Leave us in the background while you're waiting for another train to see what we catch. We are still all red on the inbound light, so never know. But we're gonna hang out till noon right here, Eastern Standard Time, and then we'll take a tour, load up, take a tour across and back, and then lunch with my lovely wife that allows me to go do all this with you guys. As Casey's sharing with you on the chat, we do see a lot of BNSF engines come through here. And not too long ago, we caught, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call it, but we caught the NASA rocket container train. It's really kind of cool. We haven't released that video yet, but it's all these box cars that are unique, and they got these great big round things around them and what have you. It's kind of hard to explain, but we'll get that video up one day. You guys see it. Casey droned it. We shot it. But they move the booster rockets across the country from the manufacturer, which I understand is out west, down to Florida. So, never know what you're going to see on this line.
Pick up the 178 there at the OR 38.
to the manager of train operations.
Come in.
Yes, sir. We have a simulated train device here in the southern end of number 4 track.
Just stop. Get out of your way.
Our move after it's the other way. Thank you.
Casey was talking about some of the unique things that we've caught here. We caught 1983, the Western Pacific Heritage Locomotive UP. 1983 went through here, down on the AGS line. One of the things that we'll get to share with you guys in our upcoming productions. But that was something that we caught here, talking about different things that Casey's talking about that we've seen here at this crossing. I was sitting here looking at the Heritage app, see if anything exciting is coming our way. Doesn't show anything close. Jump over the map piece of it. There isn't anything exciting to tell you that anyone's marked that we might see coming this way this morning. But again, as all of you know, you never know what's next. It just pops right in on us. Like I said, we are going to hang out till noon Eastern time, and then, as I promised, I'll give you all a ride like taking the kids for ice cream. We'll load you up in the car and take you for a drive. Oh, there goes the Halcon transportation vehicle, Hallcon, crew transportation vehicle going over to the Wauhatchie Yard. Well, as I was saying, we'll load you up, get you right up on the dash so you got a front row seat, and give you a ride across the crossing here, and we'll make a sweep of the CSX yard. So don't leave early. Stay with us. It is kind of fun for those of you who've never been. We have almost a picture perfect blue sky with just a few white puffy clouds. A little bit of Sunday traffic. Where we are is predominantly industrial, so not a whole lot of folks going by. During the week, there's a lot of truck traffic. But and as you'll see the sign, it says, stay out, keep out, and don't enter large enough and enough times to figure out that we can't go driving through, but you can at least get the idea, and we'll drive down and back just so you can kind of see how long it is down it, and we'll show you the overpass down at the far side where for those trains coming in from Whiteside for CSX, they go across these tracks and across the road on a viaduct overhead into the end of the yard, and then
About 8 more, 585.
from there they go out the far east end. So any train that goes through the yard or from the yard will bypass this point, but the rest that are going through will be right here in front of us for CSX. Our deer from earlier, I haven't seen them come back yet. Like I said, there's a bunch of grain on the track today. We are still facing all rigs.
Like any time, 585. All right, stop.
Getting clear there. Just want to make sure we still are moving up there north end. Your move, I'm still at the south end. You'll have to get your switch. All right, understand. We appreciate it.
Only at 5 or 648.
You got done signing down.
I'll be just 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Jonathan, you asked about our camera at the 123.
Oh, okay.
That is on the W&A line, which basically terminates the W&A here at Wauhatchie.
Yeah, your move there, 584.
So anything coming and going past
We'll go high on that 4 bucket.
the Audubon Acres rail cam of ours does go past this point, either up here or down at the east end of the yard over there, the CSX track. They can either go on into the yard and then go west from there, or come up past us. So from the 123 to here, yes, all trains come to this point, but you may not necessarily see them up at the upper because they'll be down at the actual yard down there. But yes, we are on that same line as we talked earlier. The Chattanooga subdivision basically starts here, goes on up to Nashville. And we are at the old Wauhatchie Pike crossing. Our milepost here is 145, so that gives you a little bit of an idea how far west we are from our live cam over on the W&A by Graysville and at Audubon Acres. Thank you everybody for the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Anybody just jumping on, if there's something you'd like to ask, or if you've heard what all we've covered, where we are. Been a little quiet this morning, but what we lost in action, we made up in a beautiful setting this morning. Met Lance this morning. That was a lot of fun. He's rail fanning and discovering the area. We are going to hang on here till noon, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard. And like I said, I promised you guys a car ride. With Rail Moments, you get it all. Trackside coffee, car rides, you name it. You get a little bit of a lay of the land here. I'm going to put you right up front, right in the windshield, riding on the dash. Just like when we were all young and we didn't have to worry about it, we wanted to all sit up in the back window and get in the back seat of the station wagon and face backwards. That's what we're going to do today. So don't leave yet. Hang on with Casey and I. Currently we're at the CSX crossing, as you can see, right there on that little blue sign. Gonna start putting some of the stuff up. Because we will take that tour, as I promised, at 12 o'clock, high noon. Only rail cam that I know of, live, that takes you on a car ride too. Here on Coffee Sunday with Mike and Casey and Rail Moments. now that summer has officially arrived, and I can't believe I forgot my famous big yellow hat this morning that I always tell everybody to make sure they wear. So I got the old ball cap on, but some of the equipment we've added to the production vehicle, handy dandy fan. This one runs off AC, but Casey also has me set up on battery powered fans too, so he makes sure that I stay cool trackside. And as we caught on one of the thumbnails 2 weeks ago, I think it was, the new umbrella that I didn't have weighted down enough when the CSX Heritage went past and blew the umbrella right up and out of the stand. But we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. And I got something else cool to show you. Hey, let me put this up. The whole live thing has been, and is for those of you that are new with us, technology is not my strongest point, to say the least, and I keep Casey on edge regular about that. But I have something that I think's really cool. Just got it. Here's the package, made in China. I don't know, I think it was $11 from Amazon. You're right, it's a fuzzy muff cover. Furry little feller. Looks like an old man's mustache or a Smurf hat. But it's got a little drawstring pocket, and on windy days we slide this little gadget on the end of the camera here and it cuts down wind noise. Hi guys! Everybody's out getting their exercise this morning. Vicariously, I'm losing calories just watching them. So back to the... Here comes Old Dominion again. Helping the world keep their promises. So, a few weeks ago, I was having a problem with, and again, the whole live is a learning curve for me. I was having a little problem with wind noise. So Casey said, there's the solution. And on our external sound recording device, we have X-Twin. So, twin covers on the sound devices to give you better quality sound. I thought Casey was crazy, but he's right. It's a world of difference. You get all the stereo quality sound that you hear in his productions, and it eliminates a lot of, especially the wind noise. It eliminates all of that, so you don't hear the whole whoosh, you just hear the click of the wheels. So that's my Smurf hat, small person, Smurf, fuzzies. Just thought you'd like to know. That's one of the little things that Casey's taught me to give you guys better quality here at Trackside. y'all didn't read that comment, it's also sometimes called by those that know what they're talking about, a dead cat.
After you pull 6, right?
Yeah, a very little cat I ran over is that small. Got a little bitty head there. Anyhow, how cool is that? Just to cut down wind so you guys get better quality.
We're gonna
Continue to load up the car here so we can take our tour, see a little bit of the area before we end our transmission this morning, our live Sunday Trackside Coffee that we try to start Eastern Standard Time around 8:30. We got a little bit of a late start this morning because I went by the yard, one of the places I wanted to go, and there was nobody there. Looked like a fairgrounds 3 months before the fair got there. Swung by Coffee's Cliff on the way. Nothing happening there either. So, figured the next best place on the planet. They had both beautiful backdrop, options, activity, and scanner noise activity, so you can hear all the switching activity in the yard behind me. Was right here at Old Wauhatchie, so that's how we ended up here this morning. So I'm going to continue to put things up, and then we're going to go for a ride.
Get on the floor when you're ready. You're down in one. Do one more. Same foot. 10 foot. 5 foot. One more. Yard driver. Yard driver. Look north at the 2 track. Wait for the 584 to help now. Okay, thanks.
All right, everybody, sit tight here through the earthquake, or the, I call them, or the tremors. These are what drives Casey crazy when he's doing actions. Kind of a sweep. We're going to hop in the truck, get you some air conditioning, and zoom you all the way out, load you on board. Like I said, just bear with us here a moment while I get you all set and situated. That's our rail moment sign. Let me get it pulled. All right, you have now moved inside the production unit number 6 for us, the Ford F-150. Like I said, we are sitting here trackside. We have the ambers on, and anytime we go trackside, as we had talked, so many people stop and look and what have you, so we have a stand and we put our sign on. So I'm going to start putting all the gear up and what have you and leave you here. I'm going to move the scanner inside so you can hear it. And I'm going to get us packed up for our ride, I promised. Goes the thermos. Moving the scanner back on in so you can keep up with the action. Here comes Favorite Express.
catching him.
584,
Hit him.
Briefly in 584.23, Mars Susan for 1015, number 93692. Sorry, three total messages. Got two CSX finest, all head in power, leader 6365, got 2,600 gallons of fuel, and 956 back here, second out, got 3,200 gallons of fuel. 25 loads by 170 empties, 6,700 tons, 8,100 feet, not a key train, no restrictions, no in-route work, PTC, CLC off for today, we don't need a push.
That sounds good. Any work to do there?
Take a double up here, but we'll all right when everybody's back on board, headed ready to go a while.
That sounds good. Talk to you then. Yes, sir.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, the dude, I'm on the phone for a conductor.
Let's get situated here and give you that tour I promised. Normally everything in the production unit has its place and every place has its thing, but for the moment. Hey, I'm sorry we lost connection there. My apologies. We are kind of on the edge, but we did lose connection. We are back. For those of you that are still with us, I promised you a tour.
Hey.
Of the area here where we are. We'll see if a couple jump back on. Robert, you still with us? Sorry, everyone. As we moved there, we lost connection, but we are back. So, hello, Jonathan. Thanks for being back. Sorry we lost you there. Took me a moment to get us reconnected, but we are live back in the production unit. And I'm going to give you a quick tour. Turn the scanner down a tad. We are on Old Wauhatchie Pike. We're going to take a run down to the end. And then turn around and come on back. Stop and visit. Pull in so you can see the CSX yard. As we promised. And again, we are riding in a truck over there, so you're going to have to excuse the bumps because this road is kind of tough. We had talked earlier about a siding track down here where you see that track equipment right now. That siding track that was over there is 100 years old. Casey and I looked at it together. So we're going to take a run down to the end and come on back so you can see where we've been this morning before we end this. The warehouses and stuff, you've seen all the trucks going to and from this morning. We'll go down to the crossing. There's the Kenco Distribution Center. Huge facility. The CSX, this is the AGS line. This is the bottom track that you all watched on the cameras this morning. We're running right beside of it. And the CSX yard is over to our left, and we're running that whole section at the moment to our left. All this is CSX yard over there to our left. We are currently going west, and we'll go down to this crossing, make the turn, bring you back up so you can see where we were And like I said, we'll pull in the CSX yard so you can get a look at it. So thanks for reconnecting with us. We're going to let this car behind us pass. This is the next crossing down. If you follow this line, you would be on your way to Fort Payne and then Birmingham with Norfolk Southern. All right, we're going to take a turn here and start our tour. We are now going back towards Chattanooga. We are eastbound, running along the AGS here in the production truck, trying to miss all the bumps, which is impossible. So again, my apologies, but it's as soft of a tour as I can get. You can see all the patchwork on this road. There's the track running to our left. Way over to the right, all that's off the screen, you can't see it, is the CSX Wauhatchie Rail Yard. Right where we turned around, just on the other side of that crossing and up just a couple blocks, is the overpass where the trains go into the CSX yard and bypass where we were earlier this morning. So we are making our way back this whole drive, this area that we are on, and I'd go back and show you the yard, but all this is private property, so there's no access that I can give you. Just but the tracks all run back to the right. And we're coming up on the crossing where we were this morning. Again, for those of you who just jumped back on, I'm sorry we lost connection. Kind of where we are is a little questionable as far as service, but we were pretty lucky all morning. We only had a couple connection issues, but that last one got us there for a moment. But we are taking a tour so you can understand the area where we were. And up ahead is the crossing where we were. These guys are hanging out under the shade. Guess maybe they're on break and don't want to sit in their car with the AC on. And this is the CSX Wauhatchie Yard. Let me give you a view. Wauhatchie Yard operations for CSX. You can pick from locomotive operations, terminal office, car shop, and looks like that bottom one's engineering. They have a sign up here, as you can see, remote controlled equipment. Could be in use. All back in there is, I'll zoom in a little for you. All right, Robert, I'm glad you made it back with us. But there is the CSX Wauhatchie Yard entrance. And as you saw, we must be authorized to enter, so we're going to go ahead and make the turn and exit the property. Gives you a sweep as we leave. Back onto the old Wauhatchie Pike. And this is the crossing that we were at this morning. We're going to stop just short. Here comes FedEx across. And I'm going to stop on the lower side so you can get a feel. Go ahead and hit the ambers here while we're on the side of the road. Give you an idea about this crossing. We're now on the lower side. So when we do have a train here on either the upper or lower tracks, the gates do come down on both sides. It almost kind of looks like a quiet zone because the gates are large, but if you have a train on the top or the bottom, both gates will come down at this point. NS track closest to us for the AGS line to Birmingham, and then up top to the Huntsville and Nashville. NS CSX run up there. So that kind of gives you a little bit of the idea of where we were this morning. And it's been, because it's so active here, it's been many a time. Casey and I have been here together in some of our earlier videos, as we talked earlier. But it's not uncommon to have one train pass another train up top, have another one on the bottom, have one holding. There's just all kinds of combinations here because there is a lot of traffic here. So that we got a train. We got a train. We have a train coming on the AGS line. Looks like he is headed our way, so we're going to back up and just stay put. No better way to end the day. Looks like he's on his way here. Roll the window down. And we have gates. How cool is that? What better way could... he's going to run through there real quick. He says, I'm not waiting for this train. We have NS approaching us. As you can see, as we just talked, we'll talk after the train goes.
Lined up, clear all tracks, all train tracks are cleared. Come back here 20, we'll couple of miles. Lined up, everything is clear. 20 Buffalo, 365.
got 3 straight.
Southern, milepost 248.1, no defects. CSX AC dispatch, Jack Spencer, over. Hey, how you doing, dispatch? This is the conductor for the M58322, transmitter operator. I'm ready there, 58322, go ahead with it. Alright, from top to bottom, locomotive, numbers we got 4, the first is 705, the second is 759, the third is 5214, the third is 2796. Okay, the fuel for 705 is 3200, the fuel for 759 is 1300, the fuel for 3300 is 5214, and 3300, I'm sorry, 3300, and for 2796 is 2000. Okay, continue. Crew name is Wauhatchie Yard. On time duty is 11:25. We got 101 loads, 8 empties. The tons is 13,298. The length is 7,229. It is a key train. We got no restrictions, no work to perform that we know of. PTC works until works. Over. All right, man. Come on south. I'm ready for you. Okay, thank you. Take care, fellas. Please, yeah. 15365.
We're going to sit tight here for a moment. That rail defect detector. We might have one more in the area. As we started to go across the lower track, that NS train that you just saw, that was led with NS 7635 and ES 40 DC. So 7635 on the front end, along with NS 1229, looking over NS 1229 and SD 70 Ace leading that train. And yes, we do have another one. We got Gates. That defect detector that we heard is just before this crossing. So the action continues.
At 102, have that crew call me, please. 161. One more. Same foot. And foot. 5. Fall out on 5365. We're going to stretch.
do have a green signal indication on the track in front of us, so we're going to hang tight. We do have a green signal indication on the track right in front of us. So there we have gates again. As you can see, look at the old Southern cars. Southern rail system. On that gondola car just went by.
Just signal on station arrow pan over 50 lanes to be split out.
Another old Southern gondola. Now the crossing gates for both sides, you can see. And like I was starting to say before we got the second one, a lot of times you'll have them both directions, but as we were getting ready to go across on our tour to finish up, just as I started across this track, that first train that was going westbound was on the track in front of us. To the right, as you're looking forward, to the right, which is towards Chattanooga, there are several crossover points. So they moved that train from this lower track to the upper two tracks and sent him on. And then that first gate indication, that train that just passed us, he held just left of us, which set the gate until he had clear track to proceed. So they held the inbound, which would be going east. They held that inbound on the track closest to us till the other one cleared and he had a green signal drop. Here comes Old Dominion again. helping the world keep promises. So that was kind of the layout. He jumped to the top. The inbound came. We ended the day with a double set of trains. Top one going west, bottom one going east. We're going to go ahead and cross over the tracks, take one last look at the signals, make sure we're not going to leave anybody on base so we can catch all the action that we've been here for. And again, a special thank you for letting us use the driveway and hang out where we filmed from this morning, from the recycling center. Again, super nice person that we met there, him and his son, that morning. So we came back and we'll turn off the ambers and we're going to go ahead and proceed across. We are looking down the AHF double red. Now we're coming across the top two tracks. There's where we were, and they're all red. So we're going to ride you up to the corner with us, and then we're going to end our morning coffee trackside on Sunday with Casey, Mike, and Rail Moments, and all of you. And that's what made it fun, hanging out. NS, that last locomotive on the train that just passed us, the locomotive was 4237, and he's an AC 44 CSM. So, lone locomotive. Here's a track that goes on into points over here to the left, some companies that they switch in and out of. You can see this is one of the tracks that switches off of. It's running alongside the right of us now from where we were. We're on our way into Lookout Valley. We're on the far east side, west side of Chattanooga. So we're going on in. The track continues up on our right. Everybody's in a hurry. We're at 45 and they're at 55. Well, it's their double yellow line, not mine. I wouldn't want to pay that ticket. If y'all want to ride for a little bit, they finally moved him on in. That train from this morning that's been sitting here all morning is now moving. He is now rolling on in. This train passed us this morning. He's been sitting here on this siding. He is now proceeding eastbound, headed towards DeBucks. Right here beside us. How cool was that? Another added bonus. We'll ride on up. We may get to see him one more time. We're gonna take the old way into Chattanooga. Ride with us for a moment before we come to an ending here. For those of you familiar with the area, we are on Cummings Highway. This is the way to Lookout Mountain, Rock City. There's an old railroad pass over that we're going to go under. And there's a coal train sitting up on top of it. the old tube style. So there's a coal train holding up there. Tracks to our right. There's all kinds of different patterns right here. There's the end of Lookout Mountain, and off to the right is that train that we just saw crossing over Lookout Creek, and there's Lookout Mountain. And we're going to cross over that train. Actually, we're going to stop here just for a second. See that train going under, and there is a CSX train holding there. Locomotive 879 is sitting there to our right. Locomotive 879 sitting there waiting to the right. Oh, that was an extra fine. All right. Like I said, we'll go ahead and cross on over the old way past the entrance up Lookout Mountain, and then we'll come to an end. So those of you that are familiar with this area, when you took the kids to Lookout Mountain and Rock City, there's a CSX grain train that we're passing over. The old way into Chattanooga. To the left of us, Interstate 24. Ruby Falls, Lookout Mountain. Take it right there. Discover Adventure on Lookout Mountain. If you want to do something cool, on the left up here is Wauhatchie Woodlands. Wauhatchie Woodlands, and there are a whole bunch of, and you can see the sign right there in front of us, Wauhatchie Woodlands, and there's a whole collection of tiny cabins, a house, a couple of different things, and they're all back in there. They each have their own hot tubs, and they're right on the railroad track. You can sit in the hot tub, wave to the engineer and the conductor, and they can almost throw a quarter in your hot tub. The tracks are that close. So if you want a rail fan all night long, that's a place. And there is a tunnel that is underneath us for NS that comes out right there, along with tracks that run right alongside 24. So for those of you that remember this area, there is the way that you go up. If you're coming from Chattanooga, that is the way right there to go up to Ruby Falls, just up that ramp that we went past, and up on top of Lookout Mountain. You are riding on the dash, and we are coming into Chattanooga on the scenic route. There are tracks immediately over to our left, although unfortunately you probably won't get to see them from the position of the camera, but there are tracks running on our left. I've always wondered what year that stone wall was made, because this route's been here a long time. There's another train sitting on a siding over there to the left. There's the gondola car that we just saw going past, and there are looks like 5 NS locomotives on the head end there. And there goes overhead right now, where we're about to go under. Check out this low 13-foot one crossing. We're just going to pull over here. We can do it on this siding. Give you a quick last look. This is where, and there goes the end of the train that we just saw out at the crossing. You can see that huge steel yellow bar that they recently erected. Get you a little better view. And that train on top is now moving westbound. So since we're here, we'll just hang out for a moment. We'll turn the ambers on, hang out here at this side road that's currently closed, goes back up into, but we'll get us one more train. He is coming out of the west end of DeBucks, just to give you an idea where we are. And that yellow steel beam that you see across, I've stopped counting how many times trucks have hit that overpass, or that underpass right there, I should say, where they've hit the top part. So they put that big old steel beam to crush your truck first before you hit the railroad trestle. And we've got a train that's been released to go westbound from where we are. Westbound. Hello, Chuck. Thanks for hanging out with us and joining us. Derry NS just looked up that CSX locomotive. CSX 879 is an ES44 AC-8. Oh, look at that, all that rail art, all that blue paint. I wonder how many cans that was. There's some good color. Yeah, that was that CSX grain train that you just caught a glimpse of. CSX 879, an ES44 ACH. Thanks, Derry NS. We're watching this train pick up speed. We saw him holding for that gondola train that went in. Those are some, as Casey pointed out, ancient gondola cars. Some of them were back from the Southern days. Checking out the rail art. It's kind of a cool figure. I'm not sure what he is, but it's pretty cool. Got some great color on this train. Be the problem. There you go. If nothing else, just be the problem. Amazing the size of change from the old gondolas to the new. You can see he is picking up in speed and rolling where he's been sitting there waiting. And this train will go past that crossing where we were in just a few moments. Coil cars underneath there, rolls of steel, and end of train DPU 4780. So we'll let Derry and us look that up for us, and then we are going to finish Trackside Coffee Sunday morning in Chattanooga, Tennessee, hanging out with all of you. Chuck has joined us, so that has made it a perfect morning. The picture, as you guys can see, the sky and the green and everything, is just a beautiful, beautiful morning. This is where Route 41, 64, 11, and 72 all go underneath this railroad trestle bridge. As you can see, it's low, and that's been here a long time. The days of the Chattanooga Choo-Choo went through here. But if you're gonna go out of Chattanooga and go westbound, that bridge would be one of the choices that you would have going out of town. So, Derry NS, that DPU at the end of that train was NS 4780, and he is an AC 44 CSM. So 4780, the last locomotive of our day, was an AC 44 CSM. And as my friend Jesse told me yesterday, that's a catfish engine because he's black and got white whiskers. So, from Casey and I, thanks for being with us. Thanks for sharing coffee time. Thanks for having fun. Thanks for the new friends we met today. Thanks for land stopping. Thanks for the train crews that gave us those fantastic horn salutes this morning. It's just been a great day. So, from all of us, to all of you, to everybody in between, have a great Sunday. Stay safe. If you go train side today, don't forget your hat like I did. Thank goodness I had a backup. Wear your bright clothing and have a good day in your pursuit of chasing the next train you want to see. See you Tuesday night, Trackside in Dalton. Probably around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, subscribe, like, check out the channel, and look at some of the new postings we did this week and some of the enhancements. And remember, we do have a live rail cam in Audubon Acres on the CSX WNA line.